Hey friends, Gary here. Welcome to today's video. Today I want to share my favorite photos captured using micro four thirds cameras and lenses in 2025. As we all know, as photographers, we always evolve. We always reinvent ourselves. We learn new things and then we apply those things that we learned on our photography journey so that hopefully we can always be better. So today's goal is to inspire you with my pictures and hopefully it makes you want to go out, take some more photos and have fun with photography. Learn some things from this video and hopefully you can apply it to your own photography journey as well. Without further ado, let's start with the first photo. First favorite photo of 2025 is definitely this picture of Mount Merapi volcano, and this picture is special for a few reasons. First of all, this is the closest volcano to my home, only about 1 hour drive. It is currently very active. We're seeing mini eruptions almost every day, and that makes it very interesting. We'll see the news in the evening. The Mount Merapi volcano is erupting and we can see, the lava flows, bright red orange thingy, flowing down from the summit into about 2 or 3 kilometers down the range. It was so beautiful. That's the first reason why this photo is special. Second of all, Mount Merapi volcano currently this year is very shy. Like it's always cloudy all the time, rainy all the time, making photographing Mount Merapi extremely challenging and difficult. And then I was able to capture this photo earlier this year. That was by pure luck and coincidence. Before I captured this photo, the area was raining, it was cloudy, there was almost no hope of being able to see the summit of the volcano. But we got just a little window of opportunity. Suddenly within a few minutes, the sky is clearing up, the cloud is clearing up, we can see blue sky, and then suddenly we can see the summit. So this happens only in about 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes maximum. We don't have that much time. And I brought my micro four thirds camera with me, so I was able to capture this photo and the lighting was just perfect. The sun was hitting from the other side of the volcano and it is sculpting the volcano with lots of textures and details, and it was just so awesome. Now, another interesting fact about this photo is that I captured this volcano photo using my cheapest ultra budget setup right here, the Panasonic Lumix GF9 with the kit lens, 12 to 32 millimeter kit lens. Now people always say, Gary, why do you use the 12 to 32? It's such a bad lens, it's not sharp, it's not detailed, flare and ghosting is terrible. I disagree. Look at this photo, look at the amount of detail that this particular combo can produce, and it's just satisfying. It's not true that the 12 to 32 cannot produce great photo. This is one of the evidence of why I love the kit lens Panasonic Lumix 12 to 32 millimeter. Yes, if it's flaring or if it's a backlit situation, then you cannot get great result. You'll see some purple fringing, purple blobs, ghosting artifacts, light streaks, that kind of thing. Yeah, sure, but on most conditions like this one, it is just perfect. And I think this proves once again what micro four thirds is all about, being an everyday camera to document special moments that happens in your life with relatively high quality. Okay, it's not going to compare with full frame or APS-C or things like that, but still a nice picture nevertheless. And I'm very satisfied with this picture of Mount Merapi volcano. Next photo is this photo from a train ride from Yogyakarta to Jakarta. It was filled with beautiful nature, greeneries, forests, hills, mountains, stuff like that. So enjoyable. Nowadays, when I travel from Yogyakarta to Jakarta, I prefer to ride the train instead of the airplane just because I get to see this kind of sceneries, greeneries. I think it's just so beautiful, relaxing, and it helps to clear my mind. You know, every day I deal with the hustle and bustle of city business, you know, noises, stuff like that. So seeing greeneries, nature, stuff like this really helps me to heal my mental health. And yeah, some interesting things about this photo. First of all is that I captured it using my super zoom lens, the 14 to 140 with the GF9. And you know, this is a moving train, so you have to be very quick. You won't have that much time to compose. You won't have that much time to set your cameras, you know, setting your shutter priority, your aperture, your ISO. You have to do it really quickly, and that's where Micro Four Thirds really comes in, you know, being able to quickly and conveniently capture stuff while on the go. So what I did is that I just set my camera to shutter priority, set a really high shutter speed, about 1000 if I'm not mistaken, and I let the camera decide the aperture and ISO, and I was just focusing with the composition, and that's where a super zoom really comes in, being able to zoom in and zoom out into the pictures. It really helps me to be able to capture these beautiful shots like this. And yeah, another interesting fact about this photo is that this is a reminder of how beautiful Indonesia can be. Every day, again, I live in the city, so I don't really have that much chance to see things like this, you know, from my house, from my office, and a reminder that Indonesia is actually beautiful and I should explore it more often in the future. Next favorite picture is this photo right here that I took when I went to Kopeng in Central Java to capture beautiful sceneries of mountain. So Kopeng is basically some kind of highland in between of some mountains, so you can photograph, if I remember correctly, about 3 or 4 different mountains from that area, and it was just so beautiful. We got some perfect condition because the day before when I arrived in Kopeng, it was rainy, it was cloudy, it was cold and damp, not exactly the weather that I hope for taking some pictures. But this right here, as you can see in the photo, we get some blue sky, we got some perfect light hitting the mountain, sculpting some textures and creating pockets of lights that makes it very interesting. You know, interplay between highlights and shadow is just very obvious here. And I was able to implement a little bit of foreground, you know, some little flowers, try to frame the mountain in a more interesting way. I just love this photo so much. Now I captured this photo using a lens that isn't actually my favorite travel lens, which is the Panasonic Lumix 35 to 100mm f2.8. It is big, it is heavy. Well, for a Micro Four Thirds lens anyway, it is big and heavy, but it is a professional grade lens. So, you know, you expect great image quality, high performance with the large f2.8 aperture, that kind of stuff. So the kind of image that you can capture with that lens is just amazing. And this is, you know, kind of like rediscovering again my love and passion of this particular lens, why I bought it, because I neglected this lens for a long time, and you know, that's kind of bad. You know, you wanna use your gear as often as you can. Don't just use the same lenses all over again, but try to, you know, switch up things a little bit so that, you know, your photography can be more interesting. But you know, it's not just about the picture or the gear. I think the picture is a good reminder for myself of this particular Kopeng trip, because I went there with my wife and my in-laws. We're having a really nice, relaxing time. We have some quality time there. I really enjoyed that moment, and I'm looking forward to more vacations like this in the future. Next photo is this beautiful picture of Mount Kirkjufell from Iceland. I know you are probably bored of me talking about Iceland over and over and over again. I get it, I'm sorry, but still, Iceland is just so beautiful, and I personally feel that I have a spiritual connection with Mount Kirkjufell in particular. I always imagine it in my mind that it is my happy place. I always want to revisit Kirkjufell every time I go to Iceland. We went to Kirkjufell in our 2022 trip, and we went there again on our recent 2025 trip. So yeah, Kirkjufell has a very special place in my heart, in my wife's heart as well. And here's a little story about this picture. So originally, when I want to visit Kirkjufell, all that I want is just to go to that famous viewpoint where you can photograph both the Kirkjufell mountain together with Kirkjufell Falls, the waterfall near the mountain. It was a beautiful viewpoint because then you can compositionally get a very nice panoramic view of everything, the mountain, the waterfall, everything from a single frame. And when it's near sunset, the light, is just hitting the mountain at the right place, and you can get some explosions of colors in the sky, that kind of stuff. I always wanted to capture that kind of photo. In our last trip, in our 2022 trip, we were able to capture that, but I always want more. I feel really connected to this mountain. And the funny thing is that in our recent 2025 trip, when we arrived there at the viewpoint, it was under renovation. The whole place was closed down. We cannot get to that viewpoint unless I do illegal stuff like jumping across the fence, that kind of stuff. I don't want to get into trouble. But then I was just so mad, so angry, so disappointed because I basically paid tens of thousands of dollars just to get to Iceland, and this should be the highlight of my trip, but I wasn't able to capture this photo that I already have in my mind. So the day went on, and the next day I was able to scout some location nearby my hotel where we can see Mount Kirkjufell from a different angle. And you know what? I was able to secure a nice foreground for myself. I set up my camera, which is the GF9, together with the Panasonic Leica 9mm f1.7, and I was able to capture this beautiful picture that you are seeing right now. Suddenly the sky clears up, suddenly it's not raining or cloudy anymore, suddenly it's blue sky, and then suddenly the sun is hitting Mount Kirkjufell at the right places, sculpting the mountain with beautiful lights, textures, and suddenly the Mount Kirkjufell comes alive, and I was able to capture it with my camera. And now this becomes my favorite Kirkjufell photo. So the lesson here is that when life gives you lemon, you make lemonade. Try to work around your problem and turn it into your advantage so that you don't become disappointed or angry with your problems, but you try to become creative and solve that problem and turn it into your advantage. Last but not least, my favorite picture of 2025 is this picture of aurora, northern light above the town of Akureyri in Iceland. Iceland again. I'm sorry guys, but Iceland is just so beautiful. If you have the chance, please go there and photograph as many things as you can. It is such a beautiful country, but do it respectfully, okay? Anyway, another dream of mine besides photographing Mount Kirkjufell again is to photograph the northern light together with my wife. Before I married Nora, my wife, I've already seen northern light a few times, alright? And it was an amazing experience. I cannot really describe it because seeing the light dancing in the sky, that green color suddenly becomes bright and, just moving around erratically. That just blew my mind, all right? I never see anything like that before. And I want to have that experience again with my wife. So when we go to Iceland, we try to plan our trip so that we can see northern lights. So we went on the month of October where the northern light is starting to become accessible. And also we do not visit that much location during the day because we want to conserve our energy so that in the evening when the aurora shows up, we were able to just stand for hours in the cold, photographing aurora and enjoying the light dancing in the sky for hours and just, having a good time. And we were blessed that in our trip to Iceland recently, we were able to watch the Northern Light shows 4 times. First in Grundafjordur, again with the Kirkjufell mountain as sort of the point of interest and the Northern Lights dancing above the mountain. That was spectacular. And then we saw it again in Seyðisfjörður, which is in East Iceland. Very beautiful, such a small little town. We were able to watch it there. And then also in the town of Akureyri, which is this picture right here. And then last but not least in Reykjavik. And that was the strongest one. You can really see that it is so bright. It is almost as bright as the city light, and the movement of the Northern Light was just crazy. But anyway, compositionally speaking, this particular photo is my favorite because I was able to get a nice panoramic photo of the Akureyri town and have the Northern Light above it. Sometimes the challenge with photographing Northern Light is that you might not be able to get the best composition. Sometimes the Northern Light just show up somewhere and it's not where you want it to be. And this time we were very lucky. It is almost like geometrically perfect. It's just above the town. I was able to get, the horizon right in the middle, and then upper half of the picture is the Northern Light, lower half of the picture is the town of Akureyri. And yeah, it's just perfect. And my dream finally came true. We feel so blessed and we feel so grateful being able to watch Northern Light and capture these moments with my cameras. Speaking of cameras and lenses, for this particular Northern Light photo, I captured it using my Panasonic Lumix GF9 camera or GX850 with the Panasonic Leica 9mm f1.7. That f1.7 aperture is a lifesaver. I was able to use more normal settings. I don't have to open the shutter for way too long because the condition is a little bit windy, and it really helps for low light situation like this. And that wraps up today's video. So those are all my favorite photos that I captured in 2025. Hopefully this has been interesting, entertaining, fun, and also makes you want to go out and take more pictures. That's always been the goal of my channel. I learned something very important today. As you notice from all of the photos, they're all captured with just my Panasonic Lumix GF9, a small little budget micro four thirds camera. And that said something about me, and I didn't realize that until I end this video. I think I prefer something that is small, that is easy to carry around, because I want to be able to capture moments as quickly, as convenient as possible, but with high enough quality, something that is better than my phone. And I think my GF9 was able to deliver that. Maybe in the next year, the camera that I will use the most will not be the GF9. Who knows? We will always evolve as photographer. Anyway, what is your favorite picture from today's video? Please let me know on the comment down below. And I want to invite you guys to participate in the collective gallery where you can submit your best photos and inspire all of us here in the photography community. So you can just go to the link that I just provided, submit the form, and post your best photos, share it with us. I will put it on a video in the future, and hopefully this can inspire you to go out, take more pictures, have some more fun with photography. Also, don't forget to support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video, subscribing to my channel down below. And if you want to support my work even further, consider becoming a paid member of my Patreon, where you will get exclusive contents that you won't get anywhere else. Tutorials, past tutorials and future tutorials, and also Lightroom presets, being able to download photos that I capture so you can use it for your phone's background or desktop wallpaper, things like that, with the link right here. And also use my affiliate links that will help to support this channel. Thank you, and I will see you guys on next video. Goodbye.